Many years ago, in the sacred mountains of Japan, white-clad monks sat in meditation. These pilgrim practitioners spent their days living in nature and walking from one sacred place to another. They had become so sensitive and so in tune that they were able to become aware of what was going on around them. And this awareness grew because something special was taking place in their vicinity. It felt like a sense of joyful achievement, of evolution or illumination. As they sat in silence, they all knew that they were focused on the same thing. And soon it became clear what was happening. Someone had achieved complete enlightenment. A Buddha of the highest order had appeared, and a great happiness went through the group. This would be an opportunity for them to serve, but also to learn. So they must find who this person was straight away. Now, it wasn't anyone in their group, that was clear. So they needed to start to visit the people and places whereby they believed such a possibility could occur. They started this journey agreeing to visit those practitioners which they respected the most, but also who were in the most immediate vicinity first. Their first journey was to a monastery which housed a different form of monk. Practitioners who faced the wall rather than sat amongst trees, and who practiced meditation with great diligence and awareness. These noble and genuine people were extremely precise and wonderfully present in everything they did. It was a joy to be near them, but the Buddha that they sensed was nowhere to be seen. So soon they started their journey again, this time visiting a powerful group of practitioners who used sacred words and phrases as a means to gain insights and to harness secret forces. These passionate people were very empowering to be around, and they certainly had some effective methods. But the Buddha was not there either. They journeyed to a different sect, a group that used sacred images and the contemplation and imagination of them as a means to reach higher awareness and to gain access to different things. Such inspirational people, such creative presences, but the Buddha was not there. The time had come to start to consider other possibilities. So they journeyed into town, where teachers of morality, rules and rituals resided, who believed that this was the way of attainment. Amongst the splendour and formality, there was a lot of good lessons, but the Buddha was not there. They decided that it was time for them to be firm in their conviction and search, to go into the wastelands where those sorcerers and practitioners of foreign magic spent their time. They walked among the wild and unpredictable. There were certainly many things present, but a Buddha was not one of them. It was time for them to regroup, rest, recover, and rethink. They headed towards the nearest village, one that was on the foot of the sacred mountain on which they originally sat. As they started to pass the very simple shacks on the outskirts of the village, something started to become apparent. They could feel the same sensation that they had before when they were sitting in meditation. It was as if the person they were looking for was very nearby. Soon they were walking more slowly and really paying attention to what was around them, and their focus naturally became drawn to one person in particular, a simple maidservant in a garden. She was kneeling down to feed the birds some scraps of rice. And in that moment, the evening sun reflected off a colander behind her, forming a halo. This was the sign they needed. And it acted as definite confirmation that they had found the person they were looking for. The monks became the students of the maidservant, whose name was Otaki. And they learnt a lot from her and from her story. Otaki had never received any form of spiritual education and had never undergone any form of meditation or exercises. She had achieved complete enlightenment naturally by herself. You see, many years before they met her, Otaki had made some big decisions about how she was going to live her life. She had seen people that she cared about pass away, and this made her very aware of her mortality. She'd also seen others who had lived selfishly cause a lot of pain and disharmony. She came to the conclusion that if she only had a limited amount of time in this life, she would live fully and she would stand for what she wanted to stand for. Thus, Otaki had decided to make sure that everything she did with the whole of her being, and that she did to the highest standards she could achieve. She had also decided that all these actions would be motivated from good intentions, the aim bringing the best outcomes for all. when she went about her life, she really applied what she decided to do. She didn't treat any job as small or trivial, and she made sure that everything she did with joy. If during any task or undertaking she found her awareness started to slip, or her focus on making sure that she was doing the best for the whole of existence started to waver, she would sing a song to herself that brought these qualities back. Quite soon, people around Otaki started to notice a change. Everything she did started to take on a new quality. It was a sense of ongoing improvement and excellence, but there was something more in it. It was as if each word and action that she brought into existence was blessed in some way. When she swept up the dust, it was as if everything around her was cleansed. When she cooked, her food brought healing. When she said words, they would answer questions in the minds of all those around her. Somehow, Otaki had gone beyond herself. When she made a decision to stop attempting to be special, when she made a decision to stop being motivated by her own selfish goals, all her actions became purifying. All her dedications became empowering. For Otaki, life had become the path, and truth her way. And thus, this is the story of how a simple maid became the highest of Buddhas and achieved total enlightenment through a dedication to kindness in every moment.